It's Wendy. Rebels, before we get started with this episode, I want to ask you a question. If someone you loved was stuck, you'd find a way to help them. You'd make the time. You'd find the resources. Why is it so hard to do it for yourself? It shouldn't be. In fact, my friends Wendy and Dana at Camp Reinvention believe that getting unstuck and onto what's next as we reinvent should be much easier and a hell of a lot more fun. And they've proven that it can be with hundreds of women just like you and me. Their next camp, a dynamic 12-week virtual coaching program designed to help you find your true north and pursue your dreams, starts on Tuesday, March 28th. I hope you'll consider joining. Plus, their new format and price point makes it easier than ever to join camp. Whether you do it for yourself, to be a role model for someone you love, or simply to prove that you can, it's time to commit to your reinvention dreams. The future will thank you for it. Details to learn more are in the show notes. Have you ever bitten off more than you can chew when it comes to an idea you have, a big goal or a dream? Maybe you get started, you're going along, and then everything blows up, you don't have time, you kick it to the curb, and you never go back to it. And perhaps you even spend a lot of time beating yourself up for not doing that thing you really wanted to do. I've been there many times. Today, on the Reinvention Rebels podcast, we're talking how to right-size your reinvention when it goes off the rails and what you need to do to ask for help to get it back on track. Welcome to Reinvention Rebels. Stories of brave and unapologetic women, 50 to 90 years young, who have boldly reimagined life on their own terms to find new purpose and possibilities. I'm your host, Wendy Battles. Ready for a dose of inspiration? Let's get to it. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Reinvention Rebels podcast. I am so glad you're here. I am your host, Wendy, and I'm excited that you're coming along for this Reinvention Rebels ride. This is the place to come for information and lots of inspiration about what is possible when we decide we want to reinvent ourselves in midlife and beyond. But the truth of the matter is that this podcast is for everyone. If you're looking for inspiration about what is possible in your life, you're in the right place. This is a top 2% rated podcast globally, and we share all kinds of information to get you into action. A combination of solo episodes with helpful information to get you moving forward and amazing guests who are up to the coolest reinventions and are doing it in remarkable, exciting, and very creative ways. Thank our sponsor for this episode, the Women's Meditation Network. Are you a meditator? I love to meditate. It helps me calm down, get centered, reduce stress, be more focused and present for all of the cool things that I'm up to. And the Women's Meditation Network is cool because they have a host of different podcasts, many daily, some weekly, that offer a series of different meditations for women. All kinds of things from sleeping better to mindful meditation to water and nature sounds. I have to tell you about their meditation for anxiety because I struggle with anxiety sometimes. These days, my life is more stressful than usual, juggling lots of different things, and that makes me anxious. Plus, throw in perimenopausal symptoms, and you got a really interesting combination and recipe for anxiety. That's where the meditation for anxiety comes in. There's a new episode 3 times a week, and it offers guided meditations to help you ease your anxiety, stress, and worry. It's easy to press play and listen during intense times of anxiety or darkness, or you're just a little more stressed than usual. And they offer a variety of topics so you can choose what you need when you need it. I can't recommend it enough. I love the meditation for anxiety, as well as the many other podcasts they have. So go follow the Meditation for Anxiety wherever you listen to podcasts and start listening for free today. Just search Meditation for Anxiety on your favorite podcast app and start following. It's that simple. Or visit womensmeditationnetwork.com to find the whole family of very inspiring meditation podcasts for women. Before we get to the heart of today's episode about right-sizing our reinvention, I do want to ask you, did you listen to last week's episode with the very amazing Michelle Fishburne? This woman is something else. I have to tell you, I am so inspired that she drove around the country 12,000 miles in her RV with her little doggy, and she interviewed all of these people across the country about what happened to them during the pandemic. And I think it's so cool. It's a book, but even more so than that, it's her own personal reinvention journey. It's what happened to her when she learned how to trust and she was open and she decided to see what might unfold. It's a powerful lesson for all of us in what is possible, really at any age, when we decide we really want to do something and we believe that somehow we can figure out how to make it happen. Of course, I've linked to it in the show notes. If you haven't had a chance to listen, I highly recommend it. You can't help but be inspired by Michelle's story. Today, we are talking about right-sizing reinvention that can go off the rail because we have great ideas. We have big dreams, but sometimes we might have more than we can chew. Perhaps we're overly optimistic or ambitious. That's me. I've done that many times, had great ideas. I'm all gung-ho for it. I get started, but somewhere along the way, I run out of gas. And before I can get to that destination of making that goal a reality, I just stop. And often that means I abandon it or I say, I'll do it later, but often later never comes. So what does it take for us to actually stay on track? What would help us stay on track when we have a great idea and we've started down that path and then things go wrong for whatever reason and it's hard to get back on? The question is, how can we do it? And the answer is by asking for help. I don't know about you, but I like to think I can do everything myself. I tend to not want to ask for help. I want to often grin and bear it and just kind of work my way through, which one is not the most productive way to do things. And two, it's a real waste of my time. But three, there's something powerful about asking someone for help. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that sometimes we can't do everything ourselves. Sometimes an outside perspective is helpful. So there are several things that asking for help can do for us. One, it means we don't have to do it alone. There's no reason why we have to feel stuck, like, I can't figure it out. What am I going to do? Well, there is help in many different forms. So it reminds us that we don't have to do it alone. Also, when we get help, that help can offer us new and different perspectives. What I've noticed about myself is that I get really into the details of something. I go in deep, I lose perspective, and I'm not able to always see the bigger picture. But having someone help me who's looking at the issue or problem with fresh eyes makes a really huge difference. So they can help you by having that 10,000 foot view where maybe you're on the ground level. And third, it can give you really helpful momentum. Sometimes we get stuck and it feels like inertia. We feel like we really aren't sure how to get started again once we fall off the wagon. The same thing happens to me when I fall into not so great periods with my eating. I generally am a really healthy eater. I'm doing great. But when I fall off the wagon and I just eat whatever I want, like, around the holidays or vacation, it seems like such a big effort to get back on. That's where having some help can give us that momentum we need to propel us forward. So 3 really important reasons why we should ask for help. Now, I'm going to give you 2 ideas of how you could use help. Try these on, see if one or both resonates with you. Of course, we all have different ideas of what that might look like, but let me tell you first about idea number one. It's pulling together what I call a reinvention dream team. It's your superstar supporters who are gung-ho on what you're doing, and they want to help you. They're there to encourage you, to be your cheerleader, to give you that other perspective, to help you when you think I can't go on. And they're like, yes, you can. Get back on that horse. You can do it. Sometimes we can't encourage ourselves enough about that, and we need that help. I talked a little bit about this a couple of episodes ago when I talked about do it scared, do it anyway, and how a reinvention dream team is part of the how of doing that. And I want to expand a little bit more on this idea. I've put together reinvention dream teams in the past, and the thing I want to say is it doesn't have to be something super formal. I mean, one way is you could have more of a personal board, people that you meet with regularly. That is one way to do it. Trusted advisors. But it also can be really informal. It's looking out at the people that you know and thinking about who are the people that could help me with different perspectives? Who are the people that could be my top encouragers? Who are the people that have great perspective about one issue or another? I'll tell you what I mean. When I was starting the podcast, I put together a very informal reinvention dream team of several different friends. So I had my friend Sherry, who helped me with my logo ideas and helping me narrow down what that looked like, the Reinvention Rebels logo. I had Jess, who helped me with the music for the podcast, the theme music. And when I narrowed down the samples, she came in with her really great ear as a choreographer for music and had a really good sense for the kind of feeling I was trying to get. And then there was Robin. Robin and I met every couple of weeks because she was on a trajectory of starting her voice acting career, while I was on this trajectory of starting my podcasting career. And we helped each other in different ways, from our websites to where to get help, where to find resources, how to beef up our skills, you name it. We coached each other. So it can be that informal that you can put together this reinvention dream team that can help you in these really simple ways. So I'd love for you to lean into this and think about who are the 2 or 3 people that could help you when you get off track. You're going forward with your reinvention and then something happens and you kind of get stopped in your tracks. Who are the people that could most help you get back on track with the kind of encouragement or sometimes tough love that you need? So that's idea number 1. Idea number 2 is hiring someone to help you. And that someone will depend on what it is you're doing. Maybe it's a coach. Maybe it's a virtual assistant. Someone, though, that you can ask to help you, that you're going to pay, that has your best interest in mind, but also is able to help you gain larger perspective. Again, that 10,000-foot view, because they're not so close to it. They can definitely help you accelerate the pace of things. So if you're languishing with your idea, you're not getting as far as you like, that coach can help you move it forward more quickly. So it's really helpful in that way. And I've hired all kinds of coaches and virtual assistants in the past when I've had big dreams and I've had endeavors, from now my current reinvention as a podcast host to when I was a health coach and I needed help getting myself organized to launch into the world. But I also want you to think about the idea that they can help you uncover new insights. That perspective that we're asking for can lead to new insights that we can't always see on our own. And we can do our best to uncover them, but sometimes we get to the point where we need more help. They can help us uncover those new insights. And finally, because we are paying them, we're motivated. And of course, they're motivated to help us get the best result. So when we put a little skin in the game and we're paying someone, that can also help us take it very seriously, because it's an investment in you, in your dream, in that goal that you have. So asking for help is a great catalyst for us to do those things we really want to do. And especially when we feel like I'm stuck, I'm not sure where to go. And again, there are a couple of different ways we can do it. 2 in particular are to develop your reinvention dream team with trusted advisors, people you know that will have your back, that will empower and encourage you. So it can be informal. You gather them when you need them. It could be individually. It could be a more formal idea as a group. So that's idea number one, your reinvention dream team. And then idea number two, you can hire a coach to help move you forward perhaps more quickly because you are investing in yourself. They're asking you the questions to help uncover the insights that will move you from stuck to back in motion. I hope you'll think about which of these ideas could work for you if one, you're in this stuck place, or maybe you're just getting started. Maybe you've got this big dream and you want to get into action, and having someone to help you, whether it's your dream team or it's an individual, could propel you forward more quickly, more powerfully, in just the right way to get you on track to reinvent yourself in a way that inspires you. Please noodle on that over the next week. Feel free to let me know what you think about that. And if you're thinking, I don't even know where to get started, I do want to mention you can download my 5 questions to spark your curiosity and inspire your reinvention journey. It's some questions to get you started in thinking about, where do I even begin? Got an idea, maybe some ideas, or I'm not sure, or I feel like I'm meant to do something else. This is a simple tool to help you start thinking about what that might look like. And I have linked to it in the show notes. I will be back next week with another fresh episode with a fantastic guest. I cannot wait to share that with you. In the meantime, keep shining your light. The world needs you and all that you have to offer. Hey, Rebel. If this episode inspired you to think about what's possible in your life, I'll share a little secret. Any of us can reinvent ourselves no matter where we are in our lives, any age, any stage. We just have to decide to get started. Here's a super simple way for you to get going with your reinvention dreams. Download my audio, 5 questions to spark your curiosity and inspire your reinvention journey. I share 5 key questions that will spur your thinking, help you uncover your dreams, and motivate you to take action. Because if not now, when? Details in the show notes. Let's get inspired together.